Does skill actually matter in long-range shooting?
I don't need knee pads.
We have two shooters, a beginner
Rounds per year, maybe 100 to 200 tops.
and an expert.
My round count is around 20,000 rounds a year.
Both shooters will be using the 6.5 Creed rifle and the same ammo in a 3-challenge shootout.
I've certainly never shot anything close to 1,000 with wind.
To test data collection,
I have 5.6 dialed on, and I'd be curious if he had 5.7 or 5.8.
position building,
Derek didn't adjust the gap here between the bipod and the mag.
and shot correction.
It's pretty tough to spot when you're looking down a field like that.
With increasing levels of difficulty, we are going to see how close an average hunter can match up against an AG Cup winning pro shooter.
I hope I can keep it up and that I didn't just get lucky on that wind correction.
This is Derek. Derek works in the marketing department and sales department for MDT.
Hello world.
So you run a phone app
Yeah.
for ballistics. I'm going to be using the equipment that I would normally use, which would include a Kestrel. Yeah, how would you normally find all this? I'm assuming when you set
On the
up a
box.
gun. Okay, so you'd use the information.
I would use
from
the box, yeah.
Yeah.
G1 or G7 we'll use.
That's up to you. What do you think?
I always pick the first one, G1.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't ever do altitude and stuff like that, so I don't think we should do that here.
Okay, if you don't use it, then
Oh
we're
wait,
just gonna...
actually, I have it on my watch. I'm gonna do altitude.
All right, you feel like your app's all squared away
Yeah.
for everything you would need normally. And
Yeah.
this is what you would normally do if you were, is there any other tools you would want to use in order to check any of this or to make sure your profile is set up?
No, I feel like that's a trick question though.
Okay, we're gonna find out. All right.
Our shooters will start prone with 2 targets at 463 yards and 656 yards. This will be a touch and go scenario. The shooter will only move to the second target if he hits the first.
Okay,
So in other words,
you
you get
stop
3
after
shots.
2 rounds?
If you hit your first round, you're going right to the second target. If you take all 3 rounds to hit the first target, it takes all 3 rounds to hit the first target.
Okay. Whoa. Pretty tough to spot when you're looking down a field like that because it's clearly way behind the target and off to the right, so it's really tough to know how far you have to correct for wind, but it worked out this time.
He's doing pretty well, actually. His first round miss followed by a correction. He said, admittedly, that he wasn't sure how much he needed to correct. He just say came over a lot, saw it about a mil, send it from a mil left. That's a good start, and it's better than I would have expected, to be honest, because it was a relatively good correction. And he also thought through the next hole to say, I'm just going to use that same wind hold for the next target and see where it lands. So honestly, I think it was a pretty smart strategy. Did you think there was no wind to start, or did you just forget?
I actually thought the wind was kind of at our back, maybe slightly this way, so I favored slightly left on the target, but I figured it wasn't going to affect us that much. I guess I was wrong.
I was looking at the Kestrel, figure, okay, if I were to throw a little puffy, where would it go? And I was going to say it would go down that line. Where are my targets? They're down this line. And so I immediately found, hey, I probably got about a 7:30 up to an 8 o'clock. If I'm not feeling it right here, because we're in a funnel on these 2 pinch points, it may actually be more towards 8 o'clock. So I ran a quick scenario. I'm like, we've been constantly getting 6 now, and we're up to about 9. So that puts me between, I have it right here, a 0.5 to a 0.8 on the near target, and then a 0.6 to a 0.9 left hold on the second target. So I'm like, I'm testing half on first. I watched it hit, and it was relatively centered. So that told me that being 0.75 to 0.8 was in the right spot for my next hold. So I used that and had 2 first round impacts.
Okay.
With a valuable lesson learned on wind, we now up the challenge to 800 yards. Still prone, but now at an uphill angle. A choice Derek made when setting up his profile might cost him.
I always pick the first one, G1.
We're pushing up this slope on this mountain, and there is a wolf/coyote at about 833, 834. But it's in a very dense tree forest line that's, frankly, it's a little bit hard to spot. So you have to find a TRP or a target reference point and do what you would do to find it and get on it and hopefully put 3 rounds on it.
I've certainly never shot anything close to 1,000 with wind. The only time I've hit 1,000 or beyond, and it was only once, there was no wind at all.
Let's pull this one out. About right.
Wind still feels like it's coming from the same, but less. Impact, center right. Impact, center right.
I pulled. I think if I had another shot, I would have got that.
When you start to go into really high angle shots, it's easy to think, oh, I got to get to a certain angle and start squishing the bag. And I'm guessing he sort of built a position that just let the bipod do the work and the bag just had to be where the bag had to be. And I went the opposite direction, try to elongate the bag, get more bag underneath it than you need so that you have to start really driving the system down into the bag. That prevents one of the issues that Derek just mentioned. He's like, I was high, then I was low, and then I was good. But it's because likely that little bit of boom settling causes a round to go high. It's now settled, and it's also maybe he wiggled the gun, brought it down on target, sent another round thinking I was high, aiming low, and then all of a sudden he hits low, and then he came back up and suddenly he's good. Another thing was it's likely that we're starting to see at 800 yards the difference between a choice he made very early on when he was like, yeah, I just run the first one, I run a G1, and he wasn't really sure which one, so he just ran a G1. I think we're starting to see the effects of that choice now at 800 yards, combined with a little bit of difference in the bag and the way that he set the rifle up to take that shot.
For the final challenge, we're moving off the ground and onto a tank trap. Does Derek have what it takes to keep up with the pro, or will skills and experience come out on top?
All right, so the last time I shot off a tank trap, I did not do very well at all, and it was about 3 years ago. I have not done any since. So I hope this goes well. Hope this goes better. I always put too much weight into the rifle, I think, when I'm on any sort of barricade or obstacle. And this time I didn't put enough, so I could not spot my impact at all. I was assuming a little bit of wind and trying to correct on the second one. Again, no spot whatsoever. I moved. I couldn't find the target again because the trigger cam was on it. And it was stuck at like a 22 power. That took forever. When I was finally able to find it, we took the trigger cam off. I did get an impact, and I held about a half mil left, similar to where the target was there.
Derek didn't adjust the gap here between the bipod and the mag. And if I just do a quick check here, the bag is right at that limit if I go full squish. So I'm actually gonna pull this forward just a bit to make sure that I don't have any issues getting a bag into this gap. If I take this off, the gun's gonna be very rear heavy or relatively rear heavy, and it'll make it harder to spot your shots. So I'm gonna leave the bipod on to make sure the gun stays as balanced as it can. I have a target reference. There's my tree, stand by. All right. Bag set square. And now I'm using the bracing here on my elbow and on my front hand as much as possible. Ooh, the ear pro's gotta be in now. I also noticed that the wind, well, I initially measured it, it was up. It was gonna be about a half mil left. And as soon as I got here, now the wind feels dead. So I made an on the fly call to go closer to a quarter to 3/10 left instead of that full half mil to 0.6 left. Now I know I should be using about 0.3 to 0.4 on this shot again. And now again, I'm using the crotch of this tank trap to brace my body as much as I can. Tree reference point to the left. And still down, impact. So I think the major difference there, Derek started in this position. So this position, he started here and he flipped the bag this way. So that means he has the shortest profile front to back, which will fit in between where he had the bipod and the magazine, except it's gonna cause a little bit more wobble. It's not as stable as going the long direction where I have support at the front and the back. But again, the choice of the first position, this is the more stable position. Sometimes the choice of what you choose to shoot from can affect what you do on subsequent shots more than just having a good wind plan.